Hello YouTube, this is Prepper 701 or Todd Kress here, and I just wanted to go over my EDC bag. I made a bug out bag video approximately a year or so ago, and with all the help of all you folks on YouTube and in the prepper community, I've learned a ton. I think that with all my other knowledge and everything that I've kind of gained and everything going on, I think I have figured out a really good EDC carry bag. Before I told about all the systems that I have, I'm going to go over those one video at a time, but I'd like to start with my EDC carry. I was going to go over it with it and just kind of pull it out of the bag, but I found out some things that it does not do really well, and I guess that's keep everything completely dry from a standpoint of my Stanley water bottle. I didn't have the top completely enclosed and it dumped all over the place, so I pulled everything out and let everything dry off, but I figured, what the heck, what better way to show some of my opportunity to lay it all out and go over everything. But the bag that I use is a Fieldline tactical assault. I don't remember the exact name of it, they have another name of it, but it's the smaller version of the two that they have. The bigger one I have as well as the Alpha. I've had this thing for a year and obviously it looks, I don't know, no worse for the wear, but it's kind of white on top for getting spilled on. But this bag has been very fantastic. All decked out, excluding the water that I carry, and sometimes I use the back pouch. It's 20 pounds, so it's pretty heavy. I don't carry it in typically with me wherever I go unless I want the things out of it, but it's something that I carry every day, and it's used as an everyday carry as well as a get home bag. But one of the things I do carry in there in the top pouch is my Leatherman Wave. Everybody knows about them. I do carry the two tool kits that come with it. That's the best tool ever made. And I also carry my pouch. If that's not in my bag, it'll be on me, so it takes a little bit of weight off there. Down in the front porch, I am able to store the Mora. Just your typical Mora, I guess it's got the rubberized handle on it. Also in the admin pouch, the front pouch, I carry just a 2013 calendar book. And I also carry a Zebra pen. I like the wide and the Sharpie. Also up front in my front pouch, I carry a Coleman, very bright but awkward feeling in your head. Headlamps, only current headlamp I own. I want to get some other ones. Also in the summertime, or anytime I guess, I have been carrying the Mission Endura Cool that my mother gave me, and this thing is awesome. You just wet it, snap it, and it helps you keep it cool, and can also be some beneficial in shelter and stuff like that. Hand sanitizer, cheap Amazon flashlight. I have a lot of these. If you notice with my Fieldline tactical bag for about 20 bucks, my Mora knife, flashlights. I guess my theory behind them is I guess I'd rather have I'd be able to have more of them as a backup other than buying a really good one. When I do either save up or want something nice, such as the Leatherman Wave, as opposed to a cheapie, I'm going to spend the money. But everybody knows Mora is good quality. This little thing flashlights have been absolutely phenomenal. And the Coleman headlamp has been absolutely great, except it feels a little awkward on my head. Inside of the back, there's an inside pouch in there, in that front admin pouch of that Fieldline. I carry a multitude of little, just miniature types of things that you want on you at all times. Obviously tissues, mints, earplugs, hand warmers, mosquito spray, anti-itch, Carmex, a little stain away pen, work Wild Green, it's very organic, hand sanitizer spray, some SPF 24 sunblock, again just a very small, easy to go, some crazy glue, And then in the very last pen I have in here is not WD-40, but it's a lubricating, stylo lubricating pen I got at the dollar store. Also, I use quite often, I just have some hay fever and stuff like that, but I do carry it, just your cheapy little boo-boo kit in here, which has everything it came with. It's like I think these are $1.99 or some sorts, but I added, you've got your extra Sudafed, Benadryl, antacids, all those types of little things. Neosporin, which I use quite often, and then the Band-Aids, a little bit of other things. Probably one of my weakest areas is first aid. I do plan on getting a bigger kit built. I have a very large other kit that has a lot of other things in it, but I'm missing some really big trauma things. On the outside of my pack, with the mollies, I strap on a Condor admin pouch, which has been pretty darn good. And then you'll see in there I got an array of pens, my pocket Constitution, as well as another notepad to write on, a Stanley screwdriver, spare place for a Bic flashlight, and a little pen light. That's just an Energizer from Walmart. Runs on a AA battery, and then they have a little extra pouch in here. I have some extra AA batteries, AAA batteries, a little cheapy pretend Swiss thing that works for what it works for. Some extra lead for my pencil, and the erasers, and some little clips, as well as some more crazy glue. Of course, you see the Stanley, I love this thing, but obviously you gotta have that thing tight. Just my little tiny laptop that I carry in this bag all the time, and my dollar store little pouch I put in, and it actually protected it from getting wet, so I'm gonna get another one. Cord for that, I do have a little lanyard here with a whistle, compass, and a knife sharpener. This is the Smith's knife sharpener. I love these things. Everybody's got one of them. Inside there, I have a Fieldline Pro Series little pouch. I think it was designed for maybe carrying a few things when you're hunting. I've configured it to a survival pouch, in which I've got a paracord lanyard hooked onto that. You can kind of carry it over your shoulder. You can latch it back around like so with a key ring on it. You can hook that key ring on other things too. So if I needed to take that off, it also has the molly attachments on the back, like the Condor. Up front of my survival kit, and this is based on your basic survival kit. I try to have cover the main shelter, water, food, more procurement than actually have any food in here. But I do have some procurements. Up here up front, I got a boo-boo kit with a flash, with a lighter, right in this front pouch here. That opens up, and then I use a little dry box with another, I want to say there's 8 feet, 10 feet of paracord here, and there's probably 20 feet of paracord wrapped up in here. But I have made a little dry box out of the, for boats and stuff. I have made a fishing kit, and I'll go over that in a future video here. Up in the front pouch as well, I got my Victorinox, I don't know the name of this, but my Victorinox Swiss Army knife, which I love. Had that thing for probably my first knife, 20 years. Inside here, my little survival kit. I have hand warmers again, live in North Dakota. Handkerchief. I have a freebie mirror wrapped in a little rubber thing here for signaling or making fires or whatever. Also, I have a mirror inside of a little tiny sewing kit. Nice and compact, pretty nice, freebie from a lawyer. And just your inexpensive pocket saw, some storm, light when wet type of matches, In here I have another little SOG, little individual knife sharpener with a flint on one side. I had to super glue this back together just playing around with it, so it's not the most reliable, but it's something to have. And there I got a whistle. It also has inside of it, I think everybody's seen these little Coghlan's whistles with a magnifying glass whistle and another compass inside there. Your basic survival blanket, red fluorescent blow tube, the Frontier straw. That's the cheapy one, of course. I like to get the Life straw. Strike Anywhere. Strike Anywhere flint. I'm sure you guys are familiar with those. And then we have some potable water from Aqua, portable Aqua from Aqua, just some purification tablets, wet fire, and then last of all we have wrapped around some identification, we have some duct tape. You notice around that fishing kit too, I had some camouflage duct tape wrapped around there, as well as some electrical tape, so kind of a redundancy. I do carry a little personal care hygiene stuff with your basics and your lotion, all those kind of things. There's a razor in there also because I gotta keep it groomed. Inside here in the wet keep it dry bag, thank goodness, is a raincoat, packable style raincoat. I don't remember the brand name on this, but this is a phenomenal little raincoat. It's really light. I've probably used it more for wind than I have actual rain, but it's nice to have on you at all times. It packs up pretty decent, and it's an excellent quality. I want to say it's High Sierra brand on that. I also do carry some inexpensive Walmart, but I really like this Team Realtree stocking cap here. It's got not your normal filling, it's kind of like a nylon outer and a normal stocking cap inner on that. Phenomenal little stocking cap for $7-8 at Walmart. Again, I haven't been doing this for very long. I've been more wrapped up in other things and realize the importance of being prepared at all times. So this is something that's been new to me. It's been something I've been going for about a year and a half now. Although I've been a hunter, I've always kind of been a little more on an inexpensive side. So I try to buy things, and I'm not going to recommend anything here that I haven't been using. This is over a year old. $8. So if I got a year worth of use out of it, just like my Fieldline backpack, I think it's well worth the $8. So I would buy another one. Inside of here, I have just your basic survival bracelet, paracord bracelet. I have a neck, a serious neck gaiter. I love these things. They're no thicker than a t-shirt, but boy, I tell you what, in the wind in North Dakota, these things are phenomenal. Even in the spring or summer, if you do have a chilly night or something, having that thing around is phenomenal to have. On top of it too, I do have a Remington brand face mask. I think I'm gonna take this out of here actually, so we won't talk too much about that. It's just a nice little face mask. I typically use it for coyote hunting. I do have another pair of Remington, and I had a different brand, but I lost them, and they were sold out of Shields, and I couldn't find another pair, so hopefully they show up again. But I went and bought another Remington pair of these. These do all right. They're very light. Gloves are not real work-worthy or anything, but there's enough to keep for the emergency kind of thing, to keep your hands warm. And then these outdoor products from Walmart, wet bags. I love these. I do carry on the outside, I do carry some, they're made by Ironclad, but they're 511 work gloves. These are phenomenal. I don't use them a lot. I use the Wells Pop more because they're only $9, and these are a little bit less expensive, or a little more expensive, so I can kind of save those up. Outdoor research dry boxes. I keep 2 of these. This one I actually have holding all of my electronics. And I'm going to kind of zoom in on this thing, because this thing actually has a lot of good gear in it. and we'll go over that. So, Velcroed to the top here, I have a solar charger. You can charge this thing up via the mini USB, or the large USB is the output, so you could actually charge your phone. It takes quite a bit, but it's an extra little battery, an extra little boost to kind of keep your phone charged. And it's charging off the fluorescent lamps in the shop right now. Just keep a little terry cloth, dollar store purchase, as well as a spray, believe it or not, just to clean off my little laptop and the solar panel and any little electronics. This is for my little iHome speaker that I use quite often with my phone or with my whatever laptop for extra speaker. The thing sounds pretty darn good. This is actually a little miniature charger for the solar panel. Some more cord for the solar panel. Just some iHome, Samsung. I came with my phone. Earbuds. Just a USB compact to charge my phone. A little extra thing to charge my phone. And some Samsung extra battery for my Nexus. This here is just a USB for my SD cards, obviously. Carry little snippers for wire in here. My Leatherman usually I use, but just in case I need something more fine, keep that in my electronics thing. And I'm going to be replacing this. This is just a cheapy little AM/FM clock radio, but it's there for emergency, and it fits right in my pocket, so it's pretty cool. In here, in this box, I carry a little gas, and then I have the cheapy Amazon stove in here, some electrical tape, and a lighter. But that's your little backpacking stove that you can get off Amazon for $8. And they work good. I have several. Inside the front part of my thing, I keep a Orion signal flare for starting fires, whatever. Obviously, we don't know what flares are for. Wet ones, inside pouch. Use these, you can tell they're being used. And then some emergency drinking water, just in case my Stanley breaks and gets my bag all wet. Also, in the upper inside of my thing, I have the Ultrafire Highways, and this uses that different, sorry, I can't remember, but it uses the BRC 18650 battery. I do have several of those. I do have a recharger for them. I don't currently keep a spare for this particular light, although it is very bright. I do have the other flashlight that I use quite often. I kind of use this emergency if I need something very, very bright. Sort of as tactical. I wouldn't trust this to beat anybody in the noggin if I had to, but it's certainly there and very bright. So, inside pouch, I do have a spot for my water battery, and I do use the outdoor research, of course. This I carry on the outside of my pack, and everybody's familiar with these life lights, life gears. This comes in a pinch. It's not bright as you can see, but it does have a little in that, and then another whistle on the end, of course. So everybody's familiar with these. They're kind of neat and they're very expensive. But I run that right through my molly. If I'm out backpacking or something, I want to put the red backpack on at night, I'm essentially biking, I will turn this red light on and have it on my back so people can see where I'm at. Behind the water pouch, I carry a contractor grade 55-gallon trash bin, as we all know, for cell shelter, and I've actually used them just for trash. I do molly strap, and then I have some Blackhawk straps on the back here to really put that down on the side of that on the side of this backpack here. I went with this, not for my canteen or Nalgene or anything like that, although it's obviously padded, but the padding inside there and the insulation inside there also works for carrying the protein bars. And I have some lotion in there apparently too. But I carry Big 100 bars, Cliff bars, those kind of things. There's enough for 3 days for me to survive in here. And I typically have the Mojos and the Big 100s And I have several of these things you can pack. I could probably fit 4 or 5 more bars in the little Condor canteen pouch. Nice, again, it's something that can be detached. I could, if I do want to carry something like that, I can. On the front pouch, inside here I have just a little eating utensil, your typical Boy Scout fork and knife and corkscrew. And surprisingly enough, the blade is quite sharp on there. But I keep that at the inside. I'd rather have the little bit extra weight in my EDC, I guess, and have metal to eat off of an actual real blade. And finally, inside this front pouch, I got some salt, some sugars, and stuff like that from McDonald's, some ketchups. I do have some Folgers Black Silk Instant Coffee and some Great Value Energy Drink and some hot chocolates and some napkins in here, which I could use the good old Stanley to heat up on my backpack stove. So everything kind of works really, really well together as far as my system goes. And then the integral part of this fitting in with things that I carry in my vehicle as well. That will be another video, but I really want to thank everybody for everything they've done on YouTube and the prepping community and sharing everything with us. I would have never done anything like this or had a lot of the ideas that I currently have. And I can't tell you how many times I've used pretty much everything that I carry on a daily basis. Is it 20 pounds worth it? I don't know. As many of people say, the more, and I've tried smaller bags, and I definitely don't want to go any bigger than this particular bag to carry around with me, but I've tried smaller. I can't get the stuff that I want on a daily basis. I can't keep the electronics. I can't have the survival kit. I can't have the extra snacks and food and stuff like that. As well as the toiletry kit and those kinds of things. So it's been a really good experience. It's been really fun doing this, and it's been very nice to have many of these things along for the ride. First aid kits, boo-boos, kids scratching their knees and stuff like that. So it's been very nice to be doing that. And I want to thank everybody again for all they put on YouTube and Facebook, for those of I follow on Facebook as well. But thank you very much for everything you do, and thanks for watching my video.